We're back. All right, so now we're going to be back here on the Spreaker app. I do apologize. We just ran into a little bit of technical difficulties, but we back on the Spreaker Live
they couldn't get your damn concept of the 1 + 1 = 3. What was your grade in math?
Actually, I went to... Actually, I'm ranked 3 in the state of Mississippi on SAT, ACT, and ASVAB math scores.
3.
Yeah, ranked number 3 in the state.
So in 1914.
Wait a minute, hold on. This some bullshit now. Okay, goddamn. She put me back there with Fred Sanford. Shit.
I was just saying though, you looking real French Douglas right now.
That's so full.
I'm just saying though, I know I saw your ass in the damn, what's that, the Last Supper?
That's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. Okay, that's how we gonna do the shit today.
That's how you got the damn 3. The 1 + 1 = 3. His social security number is 3. So that's how we know.
You know what? I ain't finna fuck with you with this bullshit tonight. I'm just saying. 2 makes 1.
So 1
+ 1 = 3.
April Fools.
Okay.
So one of our viewers, they did comment on one of the topics. They said that they want to talk about the Exonerated 5 and how it affects our community as a whole.
You know what? Let's go ahead and we've been having fun. Let's go ahead and dive into that right quick.
All right. So we're going to talk about this Exonerated 5, which was originally known as the Central Park 5. Y'all, this story, I really don't even know too much to say on this because, to be honest with you, it still pisses me off to this day. Because shit like this still happens. It still happens, and it's sad to see how young black men, the community as a whole, can be placed and forced to do something just because they're not educated on how shit works. Before
you dive deep into it, explain to everybody who the Central Park or now the Exonerated 5 is and what happened with these young men.
Okay, so this is what happened. We have a group of 5 young men. 5 young men they decided to all go to, this is in New York, they decided to all go to the park. Just fooling around, boys will be boys, I hate that saying, but it's true. Boys will be boys, they were goofing around, just doing shit that no one deep down, they really knew they had no business doing. They should have had their ass at home. But that's beside the point. A white female was raped in the Central Park, and they decided to round up 5 kids who supposedly fit the description. Now, mind you though, the woman didn't ID nobody. The female, she had no recollection on what happened whatsoever. There was no evidence that placed those 5 men there. One of the men who was sentenced wasn't even there. He wasn't even on their list of suspects. He went down there to the jailhouse to be with his friend who supposedly was on the list. He's sitting there waiting for them to get done interrogating his friend, and he gets drawn into it. He does time for something he did, even though none of them did anything wrong, but the one, Corey, he was the oldest one because he was the oldest. They sent him to the max. They forced him. They literally forced those boys to say things that they knew was not right, just to go ahead and get that case closed. Y'all, you know what's really the thing that pisses me off the most is that still to this day, because Donald Trump talked about that during the trial. He wanted them to be murdered. He wanted them to be executed. And still to this day, Donald Trump refuses to apologize. He refuses to apologize to those 5 men who are now known as the Exonerated 5 because they took back what was their name. They are no longer Central Park 5. They are exonerated in regards to that. But and me personally, they were awarded $41 million for a settlement? $41 million by the state of New York. No.
Oh, for all 5?
For all 5.
Oh, hell no.
$41 million.
Hell no.
But you took away their childhood.
You took away everything. You took away everything.
For the longest, they were on the sex offenders list, on the sex registry. They were felons. They couldn't get good jobs. They didn't finish their education. You took away their entire mindset. And these young boys...
It made them institutionalized.
Yeah, and they grew up in jail. That's not okay. That's not okay with me. Donald Trump, in my opinion, does owe them an apology.
Not only do Donald Trump owe them an apology, but New York basically owes them an entire. You know, it's fucked up when I'm listening to this story because the more I hear it, it reminds me of Emmett Till, and it reminds me of a boxer by the name of the Hurricane, because Emmett Till was killed for looking at a white woman, and he was a kid. Understand what I'm saying? He was a child, and they killed him for looking at a white woman. How the hell? This is one of the gifts that God blessed me with, and you're going to kill me for using it?
Didn't she come back and say that she lied?
Yeah, and then she came back, right. And she had came back after they killed him. Years down the line, she comes back and she says that they lied. Same thing about the Hurricane, the boxer, the Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? The police department. Okay, just to make a quick story short, a long story short, excuse me. Basically, he was a prize fighter. He was a boxer. He was. I think he was the light heavyweight champ.
Okay.
And you know, this one officer could not stand him. Even when he was a kid, he always fucked with the Hurricane. He did his best he had the Hurricane put in juvie as a kid for a white man trying to rape him, and the Hurricane stabbed him in the leg to get away. So he had him thrown up, and Hurricane kept telling him as a kid, I didn't do nothing. But he sat there and told the Hurricane to his face, and it's a book that you can read up on, true story. And the white guy had told him, you little black punk, I know you didn't have to do it, but I'm going to make sure that it sticks to you. So he had the Hurricane sent to juvenile until he was 18. Hurricane gets out, goes into the military, gets back out of the military when he turns 21. When he turns 21, here it is, this same cop, he wasn't even home 24 hours. The same cop was still on the force. This same cop went to his house and picked him back up saying, I know you did something. You can't hide behind those stripes and with that green suit on, nigga.
What?
His exact words to the Hurricane. So he took it down, and the Hurricane told him again, he said, I ain't do nothing wrong. He said, I'll find something. And he took this man, he took the Hurricane down, and all of a sudden, this man he's locked up again. Now, while he's in jail, now he's learning how to fight.
Okay.
He's learning how to box. He gets out of prison. Now you know what I'm saying? Because they did sentence him for a couple of years. When he gets out, now he turns into a prize fighter. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this all took place in New Jersey. So within that all being said and done, when they get out, when he finally gets out, okay, now they, when he finally gets out, they goes and they, he boxing or whatever the case may be. He's fighting against this white boy. Whoops this. They had a great fight, but he whooped this white boy's ass.
Okay.
And now he's the champ. He defended this belt for so long. This one particular night, these two white guys came into this bar and they shot up everybody in the bar.
What?
And so after they shot up the bar, they leave. This other patriot comes into the bar and he sees everybody shot up. He goes to the register and he takes the money out of the register. Whoever was the bar was like tied to a house. So the person who heard the gunshots, which was another white person, they came down the stairs and came through the door from the back door of the club to see what had happened. The patriot who was at the club and was stealing the money, he see him and he tell him it was two black guys.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, the person who was living in the house, the resident, got on the phone and called the police.
Okay.
Hurricane and his friend, they didn't even stop at this bar. They didn't even go to this bar. This same officer pulled up to his house, picked up. No, he didn't even pull up to the house. They caught Hurricane and his friend driving. Hurricane was on the passenger seat. His partner was driving the car. They never found the gun. They never found nothing. But they stuck that murder onto them. Hurricane set off in prison. for I want to say anywhere between 15 to 20 years on this charge, and he could not get off. It took this little black kid who was going to live with this white couple in Canada to basically get that story. He found Hurricane's book because Hurricane wrote this Nobel Peace Prize book in prison. This little boy found this book in a book bin at a bookstore, and he got it. And the only reason why he got it was because they had a black band on the front. He went home and he was reading the book. He went to the white folks and was telling the white people that he was with what he read in the book. These 3 white people, along with this black boy, was the ones who actually made him get free because they bust their ass to get this man released from prison from a crime that he did not commit. Mind you, while they were working on it, that same cop that was fucking with him all of his life was still on the police force. They did everything to this white family. They driving down an intersection coming from New York going into New Jersey. They just sit up here. They done fucked up the tires on the car. So as they drive it, all 4 of the tires come off.
The cops.
Yeah, the cops did all of this because they did not want to they didn't want Hurricane to get free. So all that shit, and then you got to hear it. And this is a true fucking story. So within all that shit, now you got all this shit that's happening with the exonerated 5. You can't help but get mad. You know what I'm saying? There is no fucking excuse. $40 million for 5 kids being locked up. Okay, so that's $8 million a piece that y'all telling me that all of our years that we spent in jail was worth.
Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, that's not saying that the abuse that these kids went through from when they were